Through a 30-year career, opera singer Peter Blanchet has performed with some of the biggest names, including Placido Domingo and Dame Joan Sutherland and others. He's now retired, living in Niagara-on-the-Lake, and is here in our studio this morning to talk about this, his new book. It's an interesting title, Peter, The Reluctant Tenor. Can I assume that that's pretty much literally how you got into this?
That is, yeah. I didn't really want to be an opera singer, but I just happened to get into that because I was offered things, so I got paid, and I thought, let's not be silly. I'm getting paid doing opera, and it's hard to make a living in the arts.
So you didn't want to be an opera singer. I'm assuming you didn't want to be a window washer either. Was it somewhere in the arts you were headed?
Yes, definitely something in the arts I wanted to be. I loved singing. I loved performing. I loved being the clown in the class. And so this fulfilled those things for me. And I had a really great career. A lot of people are not successful, but I was successful. And 30 years later, here I am.
What's your favorite opera? What was your favorite
My
role?
very favorite opera is the opera that I made the most money in. And not just because of the money, but it was Goro in Madame Butterfly.
Where was that?
That was, I sang it all over the world. Most importantly at LA Opera, as well as Amsterdam. And that the picture on the front of the book is Goro from Amsterdam.
This career took you all over the world.
Yes, it did.
Part of what you talk about in this book is not just your reluctance to become an opera singer, but the challenges, the rejections, the nerves before auditions, and being away from your loved ones.
Yeah, it's a very difficult lifestyle. And when I started, there weren't computers, there wasn't FaceTime and things like that. As that came into being, it got much easier because I wasn't disconnected from my partner and things like that. But it was very difficult, and there is a lot of rejection. Not only, they say that if you get one job out of 10 auditions, you're doing well. So that's a lot of rejection.
Most of us can't deal with that 10% chance.
Yeah. So you have to have a thick skin. You have to just keep plugging away and hope and get some luck.
You say you were a class clown in high school in Toronto. Opera is usually a pretty serious business.
Yes,
a lot
it
of
is.
adjustment from going from musical theater, which usually has some kind of comical element, and some operas do as well.
Yes.
But for the most part, operas are very serious.
They tend to be, but there are comedic operas like The Tales of Hoffmann. And so I, because of my stature and because of this sound of my voice, I was cast in character parts. So I got to be that fun, interesting sidekick. And there were a lot of fun comic roles.
Another challenge with opera, learning other languages, singing in other languages.
Oh.
Something you probably wouldn't have had to do in musical theater.
I certainly didn't want to do that. That's why I didn't want to become an opera singer. But I ended up, I do speak German, English, obviously, and French.
That's a good start.
That's a good start. But then I had to sing in Italian, which I didn't speak, Czech, and Russian. And I'll tell you, when you're singing in Russian, and you have to know your music before you get to the first rehearsal, you're going over and over and over. And even my next door neighbor said, I always know when you were learning a role because you would be singing things over and over and over, and I could hear it through the wall. And she said it didn't bother her, but I'm not so sure that wasn't the case.
And you're learning this phonetically, but you also have to understand exactly what it is you're singing about and what the other characters are singing back to you.
Precisely. So you have to learn it phonetically. You have to translate it so that you know what you're saying as well as what the person is saying to you, so that in acting you can respond appropriately.
You shared the stage with Domingo, with Dame Joan Sutherland, Liza Minnelli.
Yeah.
Who else?
Oh gosh, Madeline Kahn, Renee Fleming, who's a big star. There's so many.
What's it like performing with people of that stature in this industry?
It's very interesting because usually the people that are that good don't have egos. There are some that have egos, boy, dealing with those egos is quite something. But normally the people that are up at that level are secure within themselves. Like Dame Joan Sutherland was the nicest person. She would be sitting there knitting something for her grandchild as she was waiting for her time to go on stage. Really, really nice people. Renee Fleming, just salt of the earth.
Retired now, living in Niagara on the Lake with your partner, your dog as well.
My dog, Kipper, and my partner, Brad. We're loving it. We've been here 3 years. Came from downtown Toronto. Didn't need to be living in downtown Toronto and sitting on money in a house. So we came here, we built a house, and have not looked back.
Well, Peter,
It's
welcome.
just beautiful.
Welcome to Niagara, and we encourage everybody to get out and, visit Amazon.ca.
Amazon.ca, you just enter in the name of the book or my name, Peter Blanchet, and it will come up, and you can get it digitally or you can get it hard copy.
Great to meet you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.